All right, should be rolling. If you can hear me, just type yes. Let's see, make sure everything's good to go. It should be good. Hey everyone, John here. I offer solutions real estate services, and what we're going to talk about today is how you can get a homeowner to turn their home into a rent own. And the main thing I want to focus on is because people have a hard time with this, and it keeps coming up in conversations that I have, is how do I advertise to get the interested homeowner that will turn their home into a rent own? How do I advertise to get them to actually pick up the phone and call me? Because I don't want to go out and do any cold calling or knocking on doors. I want them to call me. How do I actually do that? How do I make that happen? Right? But before we get started, if you've watched me before, maybe it's your first time here, regardless, doesn't matter. If you're really serious about getting into a home today and the bank has turned you down from a mortgage, then maybe head over and grab my book, How to Buy a Home for $100 down, even when the bank says no. That's How to Buy a Home for $100 down, even when the bank says no. If that's something that might interest you, head over to buyfor100down.com. You think I'd remember that website? Buyfor100down.com. All right, so let's see. Let's get things rolling along. So when it comes to actually getting homeowners to contact you who are actually willing to turn their home into a rent own, we all know that you really need to have some effective marketing, some effective online classifieds if you're using sites like Kijiji or Craigslist or even Facebook. But a huge question that pops up over and over and over, and it holds people back from even trying, is getting that phone ringing from homeowners who are willing to turn their home into a rent own, is they don't know how to write, or they don't know how to create an ad that's going to work. And that's what's holding everybody back. And you know what? It held me back at the very beginning as well. And I get that question all the time. How do I actually get them to contact me? How do I, all these people have houses for sale. How do I get them to call me? I only want to deal with the people or talk to the people who are willing to turn their home into a rent own. I don't want to try to convince anyone to do it. I want them to call me. So how do I actually make that happen? And it's true. It all makes sense. Here's the thing. When it comes to writing effective ads or ad copy, there's three things that you must have in each ad to really grab the attention of the person reading it, to tell them what's in it for them and how they're going to benefit when they work with you, and to tell them what their next step is to get started. So all effective ads have these three important components. Okay, the first thing is a headline. You need a headline that's going to attract attention, that's going to get them to stop scrolling, to click and open up the ad. Something that's going to capture their attention immediately. And you can do it by having something in there that tells them exactly what the ad is going to be about, so that you're pre-screening. And that was one of my most successful ads. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But that was my most successful ad. It was the headline that pre-screened every single person. So only the people clicking that ads were the ones that were actually interested, and they called me. All right, we'll talk about that in a little bit. The second thing you need to have for the ad is the body. Now this tells the person reading it, or the homeowner, what's in it for them, why they should even care, or how you're going to solve the problem that they may have. Here you want to tell the homeowner how they're going to benefit when they work with you. Maybe you have to put yourself in their shoes, in the shoes of the homeowner. Try to think of what's important to them, and why would they actually want to respond to you. So what's in it for them? Never talk about yourself. Always what's in it for them. All right? Have that mindset. What's in it for them? And so some of the things you might have in the body, things like, that's important to them. So think about what's important to a homeowner to turn their home into rent own. Well, things like vacancy. Just say there won't be any vacancy during the term. Repairs and maintenance. Typically in a rent own, the person living in the house is responsible for some of the repairs and maintenance, and the owner's responsible for others. I know when I do my rent owns, I say the people in the house are responsible for everything under $1,000 per instance. So you can put that right in the ad. We'll look after all of the repairs and maintenance under $1,000, for instance. Another thing that's important to the homeowner is that you're going to buy the house at a guaranteed price. So they already know the price. So these are things that is important to the homeowner. So you might want to put some of these things in the body of your ad. You're going to close on the sale quickly, or maybe the homeowner is going to make an extra $20,000 or $40,000 more working with you than they would if they just sold their home today. And you can show them how that happens. So you need, in the body of the ad, you need to make sure that you are either addressing a pain, fear, frustration, or an ambition that the owner has, and you're trying to solve a problem for them, but you're talking about the benefits that they're going to receive by working with you. And the third and final thing that every ad must have is a very clear, distinct call to action. And it's very important that you tell the person reading that what to do next. So, for example, to book your home consultation, call Heather at 555-1212. There's no other questions in there. There's no email. You're not telling them the email. You're not telling them to do anything else. You say, to book your consultation, call Heather at 555-1212. Very clear call to action. Tell them exactly what the next step is. Okay. So those are the three things that you need to make sure you have to have an effective ad. Okay. And I'll talk about, like I said, I was going to talk about my most successful ad. But before I do that, I've written a book, as I mentioned, but I might have mentioned before, how to buy for $100 down, even when the banks say no. So if you're really serious about getting into a home now and qualify in the future, if you want to get in, pick up a home under rent to own and qualify to buy it in the future, then head over to buyfor100down.com. That's buyfor100down.com. Grab yourself a copy. And if you're watching this, if you could just type that URL in the comments section for me, that would be fabulous. Buyfor100down.com. And like I said, that's greatly appreciated if you could just type that in the comments section for me. So yeah, back to if you've seen any of my ads, any of my previous videos, or this is the first video, you might know or you might not know, I'm a very proud introvert. Like, I like my alone time. I do not like a lot of people going in crowds. And when it comes to cold calling on owners or going and knocking on doors when I'm not invited or people aren't expecting me, I have panic attacks. I start to sweat profusely. So very early on in my in the rent-to-own business, I had to get very good at marketing in order to do this rent-to-own business. I had to figure out a way very quickly what to say in an ad that would explain what I wanted and what I was willing to do. So I knew I had to make the ad simple. I had to make it short because people don't like reading long ads. I had to make it simple to the point, and it had to capture the attention of the reader, the homeowner. I had to tell them exactly what I wanted because I didn't want to have to sit there and explain it for half an hour on the phone. And I wanted them to know exactly what they're going to get. And so I'm pre-screening them, and only the people that are actually calling me are ones that, one, they're interested, or two, they just don't read the ad. So there's a lot of those people too. So so the headline got their attention, got the attention of only the people that were really considering rent-to-own. It went something like this, and this particular ad was so successful. I was getting 10 to 15 calls a week just by running this one ad on Kijiji. Only just 10 to 15 calls a week just by posting this ad on Kijiji. When I was doing this business in various cities with some other partners, we would in a 12-day period, this ad ended up getting 247 responses in 12 days. We had 247 homeowners contacting us in 12 days off this one particular ad to get homeowners to contact us to turn their home into rent-own. All right, so the headline was, company needs 8 houses for August 1st to rent for 2 to 3 years, then buy. Very clear. I wanted a house. I needed it by this date, and I wanted to rent it for 2 to 3 years before I bought it. Very clear. So only the people that were actually considering renting their house before selling it would even open up the ad. The body was very short. Local investment company looking to rent houses, condos, duplexes for 2 to 3 years, and then purchase the property at the end of the lease. We require properties in Edmonton and surrounding areas, and then I would list a bunch of the surrounding areas that I needed. And here's what you're going to get. So you receive the following, Mr. Homeowner. Rent paid every month guaranteed. Well, that should be a given on any rental. Quality tenants in and caring for your property. Long-term lease, anywhere from 1 to 5 years. Management process and responsibilities handled by our company, so they don't have to worry about anything. All maintenance and repairs under $1,000 per instance covered by our company, so they don't have to shell out money on a regular basis. Additional interior and hazard insurance, so obviously we make sure there's tenant insurance on the place. And your house purchased at the end of the lease at a guaranteed price, quick close. So they had a lot of the things that homeowners wanted, and a lot of these things were pain points for homeowners when it comes to dealing with tenants. So I just took all the pain away from them, right? And the call to action was to more information, call Heather at her office at this number, 555-1212. All right, so to book your consultation, call Heather at our office at 555-1212. And that was the most successful ad. Short, clear, took all the pain away in the body. The headline attracted attention of only the people that I wanted, that were interested in what I had to offer, and a clear and concise call to action. So like I said, there's lots of homeowners out there. Like I was getting just 10 to 15, just that one ad was getting me 10 to 15 calls a week. So there's lots of homeowners out there willing to let you rent own their house. And that ad focuses on those 3 main components of the ad. I said you're going to build an ad or write an ad to attract homeowners, 3 main components. And those 3 components, when you make sure you have that in there, that's going to get your phone ringing, okay? So before I forget again, if you're serious about getting into a home, you don't qualify for a mortgage, the bank has turned you down, like I said, and you have the income to support it, then head over and grab my book at buyfor100down.com. That's buyfor100down.com. Like I said, I'm going to share the same strategy I use to get over 50 homeowners to give me their home on a rent-own basis. And so you can learn and do it yourself and get your own home to live in it and qualify to buy it in the future. All right. So now to summarize what we talk about in this video, when it comes to attracting the homeowner who's willing to rent-own their home to you, remember, there's the 3 important components that you need to have when you're writing and creating that effective ad for either Craigslist or Kijiji or Facebook or Facebook groups or wherever you're going to put it. There's 3 main components you need to have. Every good ad needs to have. Headline that's going to grab their attention. A body that's going to tell them what's in it for them and why they should care and what problems of theirs it's going to solve, or what desired outcome they're going to get when they use your solution. And third is a call to action, them telling them exactly what to do next. Don't tell them 3 things to do, just tell them 1 thing. Call now, this number. Okay? So once again, to summarize what we talked about in this video, part of getting into home ownership when the bank, when you don't qualify for a bank mortgage, if you know anything, like I said, if you've watched some of my other videos about rent-own before, you know that there's 3 main things that we do when it comes to getting into home ownership when you don't qualify. There's 3 main things. First, you need to attract the homeowner. Second, you need to negotiate a fair price and terms. And third, you need to sign specific rent-own contracts with the owner. Those are the 3 main things. Today, we're talking about how to attract the homeowner, using those ads to attract the homeowner. But here's the thing. If you don't want to confuse the homeowners, if you don't want to confuse them, if you only want to have people contact you that are, somewhat pre-screened, that are interested, they have the property type that you're looking for, then and you want to have it so the phone is ringing, then just keep it simple. Stick to those three main components of the effective ad: headline, body, copy, what's in it for them, call to action. Make sure you have that, and you'll do very well getting people to call you who actually have houses that they're willing to turn into a rent-own. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, if you have any questions, anything I talked about here, just type them in the comments below. I'll definitely follow up with you. Before I go, once again, if you're really serious about getting into a home and the bank has turned you down from a mortgage, you don't qualify today, but yet you still want to get into a home and be able to buy it in the near future, and you want access to the same strategy I use to get into 50 homes and turn them into rent-owns, then head over to buyfor100down.com. That's buyfor100down.com. Go pick up a copy of my book, and hopefully it'll help you out. All right. Thanks again for joining me. Everyone be safe, take care, and enjoy the rest of your day.